What's good, Osiris here? Thanks. You're back in the middle MAGA. I want to challenge everyone to stay principled and tell me where I'm wrong here. I've spoken out. I just recently did a half an hour video on concerns of adults who want to do adult things to non adults. But that's not the topic here. I think people are confusing it. What I'm talking about is I saw today that there's this account on Twitter that got suspended. And I don't blame people for celebrating it, but it's really the principle that I want to challenge people on. This account is some type of purporting itself to be pro adults who are attracted to non-adults. Disgusting behavior, but this account just said, "Hey, this is what I believe. I believe in this, and I designed this part of the flag, the pride flag, for this new group or this group that's not included." This account said I wanted to stray from the oft used horizontal bars motif, but only a little. I wanted to retain some familiarity. So you wanted it to be familiar, okay, whatever. And the other part of it I see is account suspended. That's only 2 tweets. We don't know the whole story. That's kind of the point. There's no transparency. I don't have to agree with what you're speaking to say that you have the right to speak it. And I shouldn't determine that. That's either you broke the law or not. You can just shut the video off. If you think that the private companies should be able to censor whatever speech they want to because they're private, then you don't need to even watch the rest of it. You will never agree with me on any of these type of topics. But if you question that and challenge that, help me understand what's going on here. I said, here's the problem. We need digital due process on these big tech platforms. I'm not sure how that works. I'm not doing their job for them. And there's not enough energy from the public anyway. So we deserve to lose our First Amendment rights. We deserve to lose a lot in this country because we're not willing to fight for it and speak out for it in a principled way. So I'm not sure how it works, but the Bill of Rights, and let's just talk about due process and specifically, there should be some form of due process. I don't know how it's done. I think you should be able to remain anonymous if possible, but I don't know if that's possible. What happens in that process should be public information, no different than the criminal system. Some places you have to go down to the courthouse, but you can go online and search some records too and find out public proceedings. So, understandably, I don't blame people. They're like, well, I'm still happy about it. Blessed Mama says, pushing for pedo stuff. Saw the page a few days ago, and some of it was pretty disturbing to say the least. I don't care. People think my take on reparations is disturbing. So if one of the people who are anti-reparations own Twitter, they could say, oh, my speech is disturbing and cut me off. That's what you're arguing for. I said that's only fair if laws are broken. Okay, if laws are broken, who's determined that? Elon Musk? We need this information to be transparent and public. I'm just going to go through some of these replies here. Chip says Elon was transparent about it. What part do you not understand? I don't know if I missed something. The only thing I saw from Elon was him saying we don't tolerate that. Sounds like what he did with Alex Jones. They asked him, why did somebody asked him, well, what about Alex Jones? He said, Alex Jones is banned because Elon Musk's kid was unlived. What does that have to do with Alex Jones? Kanye West got banned. Why? Because Elon felt like he wanted to punch him in the face. That's literally what he said. He said, I felt like I wanted to punch him in the face, so that's incitement to violence. What? There's no principle here. That's woke. You're allowing something outside morality of God to define, outside of God to define your morality. If you believe in God, in my opinion, you believe in due process, even for PDs. No, maybe there's some fringe Christian nationalists that don't, but I think most people believe if somebody is a PD, they should be charged. You should see the charges. They should be able to defend themselves. So what's different here? And the information, I'm going to end with why the information should be public. Again, tell me where I'm wrong. Friend of show, highly think of real Nico House. We have very civil disagreement and a lot of agreement. Technically, PD is against the law, so pushing it in a public square is illegal. So then, okay, maybe it is. I'm not a lawyer, but secrecy is the problem. Nobody knows what exactly they got banned for. And if their activity is illegal, we now have a system outside of the judicial branch that determines that with respect to free speech. Elon Musk can. YouTube. The man that's working on offering chips for brains is judge, jury, and executor with free speech. Again, if you don't think you should have free speech on these platforms, then we don't need to talk. I want to respectfully disagree. You can hopefully catch another video. What else can he control? We need to keep this in mind as transhumanism. That's why I said transhumanism is not the problem. This is the problem. You're giving people power and you don't even know it. He's the one putting Neuralink, or not going to put, but he's going to come out with Neuralink. And what kind of power is he going to have? Is he going to have the same type of power? Transhumanism, augmented reality, virtual reality, Meta, Teams. I talked about Teams where you can go online to your videos like Zoom, but for Microsoft, you go online, you can use an avatar now. So you'll go online, you'll go to work in a virtual reality in a little bit. And you'll live in many parts in a virtual reality or augmented reality. And what you're setting up is that there's no due process. So if you go to a movie theater in Meta, they have that already. I have one of the headsets, the Oculus or whatever they're called now. I don't use it that much. I mean, it needs to get better, but it's not all bad. I went in there and watched Netflix. I was watching Star Trek The Next Generation. Watching Star Trek The Next Generation, not on TV, through the virtual reality like I was sitting in a movie theater. They have a setting where you can say, oh, you're sitting at a big screen TV or a movie theater so big, you're looking around at it. It's pretty cool. But understand, when you go into that world, now you have no rights. Yeah, that's getting a little shaky to me. Duke says, I appreciate your commitment to due process. To me, it's pretty simple. Somebody said there was a link to a website. Okay, is the website illegal? It still need due process. If no laws are broken, then and nobody's rights are being infringed, then they shouldn't be silenced. Even then, there should be some type of process. Somebody said leftists have a goal of legalizing pedo and making them gain so much ground by the government, making their pride flag a protected flag and a protected class of people. They are only a step away from PDs working in schools with our children. That's already happening. We can't keep giving ground. I agree. That doesn't address any of my concerns, though. I've done a video on that. And I'll end with somebody said, well, they wouldn't allow a Yahtzee flag. Why would they allow the PD flag? I disagree with you 100%. Why wouldn't you allow a Yahtzee flag? That's not illegal. So let me give you this example. So I replied to somebody. Somebody said PD is illegal, promoting illegal activities. Okay, well, let's make it public and see what happened. I say that we need a peaceful divorce. So what you're saying is these online platforms should be able to determine my statement to be illegal. Maybe they don't have the judicial power, but they can say, I will suspend your account without any knowledge. So you know how powerful it would be for me to say, hey, I'm a libertarian. I want decentralization and I want it peacefully. And so when I talk about decentralization, it is somehow through the system, asserting your rights. You can argue whether it's constitutional or not, but I want it to be peaceful. And then they say, oh, you did this illegal act. And then I could say, this is what they called illegal. That there's some power to that. They don't let you do that. You're suspended. Friend of the show, Ray Studios, got his whole channel nuked. No true due process. You can't go due process through the same people that nuked you. And you don't even know what they did. And you can't defend yourself. And then after the fact, you can't make a statement. That's ridiculous. And then Elon Musk never even claimed that they broke a law. So I'm going to end with this here. I went on to this law practice website to say, hey, when there's criminal charges, a lot of this stuff is public. And they talk about, well, why is it public? In theory, they have an answer for you. As you may be aware, most court documents are actually available to the public for viewing, meaning this PD Twitter account, I think we don't need to have illegal things to view. I don't want to view if they did anything like that, but we need to be able to have a statement saying, blurred out, so you can't see anything at all. This is a tweet. It had illegal activities in it, And I don't know what the due process, you might have to create a whole different judicial branch. I don't know, don't care. You figure it out. You in DC is what I'm talking about. Why are they publicly available though? For legal cases, they involve sensitive information that can be embarrassing or deeply personal. But the thought a stranger could access this is frustrating. But court records are public information, at least hypothetically, to help citizens hold the government and other organizations accountable for their actions. Making court documents public record can also help citizens keep courts accountable and try to ensure courts are corruption free. So I don't know what you think about pedo. I hope you're not for it. I'm not for it, but that's not my concern here, as you can see. And you see the problem with not having due process. We're just beginning this digital age. So we better get right. Or my biggest takeaway is that we don't deserve the essence of the First Amendment. They allowed the platforms to get to all the people. They bought up all the smaller platforms. We do not have true competition online. There's only a handful of platforms that own the 90% of the public square. If you don't believe me, the Democrats say that all the time. So we let them get this power, and we don't know how to control it. We better get right.